Coming up on KX News at 10, students are officially back on college campuses. We'll share some of this year's shakeups and why doctors say staying healthy is the best way to keep any virus away.
Putting North Dakota first. KX News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. I'm Renee Cooper. Thanks for watching KX News. Leading our coverage tonight, it's move-in day for college students in Minot as students across the country return to their new normal that is much different than it was this time last year. As PJ Walker explains, students and staff say the coronavirus pandemic has forced some big changes.
For many students starting college this fall, this will be the first time they're away from home. And on top of the normal challenges of being on your own, COVID-19 has thrown more obstacles in the mix.
It's kind of different. The experience, obviously, than anybody else has gone through.
About 300 students will stay on campus this fall at MSU. Two of them are freshman roommates, Jake and Reese. They say they knew they would have to get used to doing things differently because of the pandemic, but things are a bit challenging already.
You know, having to put the mask on, just walking through the halls, and then going outside and having to wear it, and then kind of having to distance yourself from everybody is kind of difficult at times.
With all the social distancing and safety guidelines in place, university officials are hoping that there are minimal cases of COVID-19 on campus. But if there are, they're prepared.
They have the symptoms, but they haven't been tested, so we don't know. We have a place where they can go. If they are in a suite, we'll have them stay in their suite. We'll deliver meals. And make sure that they have what they need. We have IT on call, so if they need to make sure that they're getting to their classes online.
The director of Resident Life says many students will spend most of their time in their dorm rooms, so making sure they are practicing those rules there are important as well.
So we're really asking them to consider how their choices affect the community when they're going out and about, whether it's to class or to work. Or to get groceries, to always think about they're part of a bigger community, and so their actions affect the rest of the community.
So as students put the final touches on their rooms and gear up for classes, all eyes will be on the university to see if they can pull off what several schools across the U.S. haven't been able to. PJ Walker, KX News.
Classes will begin this Tuesday for students at Minot State. Good luck to them. And for college students, keeping up with a hectic lifestyle and staying healthy are hard acts to balance. College students tend to have very busy schedules, and finding ways to stay healthy and active can be hard. With the coronavirus on most everyone's minds, researchers are pointing out that having a strong immune system is the best way to stay healthy, and it can actually help fight off the virus. We spoke to one doctor who says with college back in session, taking care of your body now can help when any type of virus comes along.
So working out helps circulate the blood more, helps you stay healthier, helps your muscles get more blood and oxygen, which also helps. Vitamin C every day can help.
She says 30 minutes a day of working out and healthy snack options can make all the difference when staying healthy and in shape. Well, the State Department of Health reported the death of one additional person, unfortunately, today with COVID-19, a Rolette County man in his 70s with underlying health conditions. That brings the statewide death toll to 136. Health officials will also say that there were 140 new COVID-19 cases in 16 counties, raising the statewide total since the pandemic began to 9,876. And active cases today rose by 43 cases to 1,676, a new daily high for North Dakota. The new cases included 28 in Burleigh County and 8 in neighboring Morton County. The region has developed into a hot spot with the reopening of the economy, increased gatherings and people, and more testing. There has been more than 8,000 recoveries in the state since mid-March, and as of this morning, 52 people were still in the hospital. That is down 1 from yesterday. For the latest information on the coronavirus, including the latest resources, case numbers, and prevention, head on over to our website, kxnet.com. Bikers are rallying around a 6-year-old North Dakota girl who was raped by her babysitter 2 years ago when she was just 4 years old. Over 200 riders came to the West Fargo Harley-Davidson to start a bike ride for Natalie Struby and all children who have been abused. Bikers were also encouraged to donate to the Red River Children's Advocacy Center. Natalie's mom, Rosa, says she's glad to spread the message about this issue in any kind of way.
As her mom, I mean, I can't imagine what she went through in those 5 hours and the pain and the terror that she felt. So this was important to me to spread awareness. This is not a subject people like to talk about.
Last year, the cause raised over $7,000 for the Advocacy Center. So important. And speaking of bikers, a group that gained national attention for an unconventional calendar shoot, they're at it again. Reporter Maddie Biertempel has more on the not-so-heavenly body's newest calendar and how they're helping one of their own.
Beth Nielsen never thought her idea for a biker calendar last year would blow up like it did.
I made 100 calendars and we laughed thinking how many we were going to have left over.
But when she asked members of local bike clubs if they'd model the months for charity, they were hesitant at first.
We were all like, okay. And she looked for volunteers. Well, a bunch of us volunteered.
And their not-so-heavenly bodies calendar efforts didn't go unnoticed. CNN picked up the story, turning what started off as a joke into a national spectacle.
Being approached in airports and at bike rallies.
Adam Kuntz said they sold close to 1,000 calendars, raising about $20,000 for Heaven's Helpers Soup Cafe in Bismarck.
It was definitely something we did not expect.
This year's calendar proceeds go to Sporting Chance, a charity that gives people with disabilities outdoor experiences at no cost.
The biker community's always supported special needs and disabled individuals.
But this time, fundraising efforts have also gone to one of their own.
The fire is beyond the most stressful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean,
you watch everything go up in flames.
When Mike and LaDonna Carpenter's home caught fire Monday, they lost everything, but the support from the bikers remained.
You want to wake up from the nightmare, and that nightmare has turned into our friends, our family. I consider them all family. And they came to us to help us to make us feel whole again.
This weekend's fundraiser for Sporting Chance also includes an option to donate to the Carpenters.
The motorcycle community in Bismarck is such a family, and it doesn't matter what club you ride for, what colors you wear. We all take care of each other, and I guess it's our turn.
To support the cause, you can buy a calendar for $20 through the group's PayPal account or at one of the many local sponsors that carry the calendar. Reporting in Bismarck for KX News, Maddie Biertempel.
The group held a fundraiser today in Washburn where the bikers signed autographs and people could donate to the Carpenters. I hope they get back on their feet soon. And now, here are some of the top stories from KX News in case you missed it. According to welfare.org, more than 70,000 people live below the poverty line in North Dakota. That's 10% of the population.
We see roughly around 2,000 clients a year coming into our agency, and I would have to say at least 80-90% of those people are in poverty.
Conservative group Brighter Future Alliance is taking Secretary of State Al Jaeger to court over Measure 3. The group claims that North Dakota Voters First, which is sponsoring the measure, used deceptive tactics when gaining signatures and didn't include the text.
CHI St. Alexius CEO Kurt Schley tells me the hospital currently has 13 people hospitalized for COVID-19.
We have about 24 employees right now that are in quarantine due to exposure. The vast majority of these are through community spread.
The FDA has temporarily relaxed food labeling guidelines to help slow down the high demand for some ingredients.
I understand living in an agricultural state that farmers are going through a really tough time, like a lot of us are. But this seems like an inappropriate solution.
34 major gas companies and 11 oil companies owe millions to the North Dakota School Fund, and that's according to the state.
North Dakota Land Commissioner Jody Smith says if royalties are not paid up by September 30th, the penalties go up. And she says many companies already owe penalties and interest dating back years. Coming up next on KX News at 10, from farm to table, this local gourmet shop does it all, and with a lot of heart. Plus, your full forecast is still to come.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us. You're watching KX News at 10 with Renee Cooper, weather with meteorologist Robert Sir, and sports with Luke Campbell. KX News at 10, putting North Dakota first.